Hello YouTubers, back again. Just going to do a short review on some stuff that I stumbled across when I was out shopping. For the UK viewers, Maplins is where you can find this stuff. What it is, it's basically a rubberized coating that you can put on different various applications. It's called Sugru, and you've got many uses for it. Just use your imagination, really. I mean, there's some of the things you can use for it. But what I thought I'd use it for was my Snow Peak titanium pots and pans. Basically, the pots and pans, they come as standard without a rubberized coating on the handle. So obviously, when they get hot, it can burn your hand to pick them up. So quickly show you the packaging it comes in. Comes in this packaging. It comes with a pack of 5 mini packs. You get a blue, a yellow, a red, a black and a white, one of each. Now they claim, if I open this up and zoom it in, they claim that this can withstand temperatures of -50 all the way up to 180 degrees centigrade plus. So I'm going to test that out in a little while, see what happens. These are what the packs look like. Just tear open the pack. It's similar to Play-Doh when you open it, and as soon as it's reacted with air, it starts to harden. It takes 24 hours to fully harden, but after about 20 minutes you can start to feel it get obviously a bit harder to play with, and you can sort of mould it round stuff. So what I'll do is I'll show you, these are my titanium Snow Peak pots and pans. It's come as standard, so that's the projects I've got to finish. These were my first projects. Now obviously not the neatest. I mean, you can go as neat as you want, really. It all depends how much time you spend on it. It's a bit burnt there. This was a test I was doing earlier on a flame to see if it would melt the plastic, and it didn't actually melt it, so I was pleased with that. I have noticed that if you use a really thin layer, it does actually tend to crack a slight bit. You can see there. But I did try and pull it off to see it would fall off, and it's quite strong stuff, so it all depends how much you put round, really. I mean, these handles tend to go like that, so I would imagine as they're rubbing together it's pulling it away. So yeah, what I'm going to do in a little while is I'm going to put some water in this, and I'm going to measure the temperature of the uninsulated part and the insulated part. The reason I've left this uninsulated, because one pack of this has only got me this far. So I mean, you will need it's probably worth buying 2 packs just to finish it off. You may have a little bit of wastage at the end, but then again, you can use it for other stuff. If you can think of other things you want to use it for, use it on other bits and pieces. I'm going to put a link in the description below just to show you a video of the inventor of this stuff and what it can do, because apparently it can withhold a lot of weight as well. You can hang things on it. There's lots of stuff you can do. So that's the first one I've done. That was just a rough. And the good thing about this as well is also, if you're not happy with it, you can remove it. It's easily removed if you wanna. I think you just get a knife and run down the edge and pull it all off and start again if you want to, if you're not happy with it. Yeah, the white's obviously probably not the best of colours to start with, because obviously it's going to get dirty easy, but if you're not bothered about that, then it's not going to be a problem. This is the next one I've done. This is a red one. As you can see, a little bit better. I spent a little bit more time on this one. Obviously use your fingers to smooth it out. like I said, it's like Play-Doh, so the longer you leave it, the longer the stuff goes off. There's a little bit missing there, but I can touch it up. The beauty of this stuff as well, you can touch it up anytime you want. If you've got an unopened pack and you want to touch bits up, you can always put more on there, and it'll seal and it'll stick pretty much to anything. So, and then my personal opinion, the black's the best colour, because you don't have to make a nice job of it and it still looks pretty good. This is my cup, Snow Peak cup. So yeah, it's a little bit. And also you could, if you wanted to, you could always put a piece around the mouth so you don't burn your mouth when you're drinking. That's another little project I might do later on. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little test with a lighter. I had some spare leftovers, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically put a lighter on it and see if it melts. So stay tuned for that. I'll get the stuff ready now. Move all this out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this there. I'm just going to get a lighter on it. I'll zoom in a bit so you can just so you can see it a little bit better. So let's move that in the middle. So this is just to test their theory of their theory is this will withstand 180 degrees plus. So I mean, I'm going to hold the lighter on there for a little while and see what happens. I've never done this before, so I mean I've done it with the over the stove, but I've never held it over an open flame like this. So I'm going to give it about 30 seconds, see if it melts. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to also put this flame's not as hot. I've got a blue flame which is hotter, so I'm going to try that as well. At the moment, can't see any smoke coming off of it. Right, see, I mean it's very, very hot to touch. I can't even touch that. I can feel the heat coming off of that. Very hot. I'm going to let that cool down just for a second, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another flame on it and see what happens. It's going to be a hot flame, but that sort of flame, that flame I put on there a minute ago was probably the sort of flame you'd get out of your wood burning stove. So just to sort of mimic what would happen if the flames come up and just basically touch the rubber. Also, what I'd like to mention as well is the stuff is claimed to be rubber, but it's not. It is a rubbery feeling to it, but it's sort of more like plastic. It doesn't squidge if you try and squeeze it. So don't think it's going to be, obviously if you get the stuff, don't think it's going to be very rubbery. It's more like a plasticky type stuff. You can squidge it a little bit. That should have cooled down by now, so what I'm going to do, yeah, that's cooled down, I can touch that now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get another flame on it, which is obviously burns a hot flame, this one. If I can get that in the shot, let's see what this does. I can actually, it's actually starting to glow. Right, so that did catch. Didn't take long to catch. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not going to touch it with my hands, but it started to go white. So that's a very hot flame. I don't know what the temperature of that flame is. I could probably measure the temperature of that flame actually. I've got a temperature reader, so I could let you know the results of that. I'll put that in the description box. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the pans. Let's just zoom back out again. I'm going to get the pan, I'm going to put some water in there, boil some water, and just basically take a temperature reading of the uninsulated and the insulated, and then I'm going to do a test with my hand to see how hot it actually gets, and see what difference it makes. So I'll get back to you in a minute, guys. I'll speak to you soon. Right guys, let's start this up. I've got some water in the pan, so I'm going to heat this up, and then I'm going to take a measurement from my temperature reader to see what the rubberized insulation gets to, and also what the metal gets to, and I'll show you on screen the measurement, and also then I'm going to try and pick them up and see what the temperature is, if I can, if it burns my hands or not. So here we go. What I might do is speed this time up, because obviously I don't want to watch 2 or 3 minutes of this boiling, so I'll speed the time up, and then I'll get back to you when this is already boiled, and I'm going to leave it to boil for about a minute just so this can pick up some heat. So I'll get back to you soon, guys. Alright guys, what I've decided to do is I'm going to move this pot over just a little bit, just so the flames are heating up the handles a bit quicker. So it's just about there. Yeah, I can feel that, that's getting hot now. So we're just going to see what happens basically. Right guys, that's pretty much boiling point now, so let's take a temperature reading of the I'm going to take a temperature reading of the uninsulated handle first to start with. So just shine my laser on there. And that's saying about 34.8. I'll take another reading just to double check. What I'm going to do is take a temperature reading of where you're going to basically hold it. So it's quite hard to get a reading off it, because obviously the laser, 2 lasers have got to try and hit the metal. 30, depending on where I move it, it's about 31.6 degrees on just the bare metal. Now I'm going to take a reading of the insulated. You may be able to see this on camera. Right, surprisingly this is higher, probably because there's nowhere for the heat to escape. This is 40.6 degrees. I'll just take another one off the other handle, just to saying 45 degrees. But now we're going to test to see how hot it is to pick it up. Obviously all the heat's being stored inside the metal, so it's not being released anywhere, but I mean, I'm touching that. You see I'm touching that, holding that with my fingers. I can't feel the heat at all. I'm going to try and touch this metal now. Yeah, you can feel the difference. It's starting to burn my fingers. Yeah, definitely starting to burn my fingers there. Just about touch that. If I touch this there, I can hold that all day long. So yeah, that's just a little test. I'm going to try and pick this up now without burning myself. Try and pick this up without with just the insulated side. Don't know how this is going to work, because you're not supposed to pick these up. It's still hot to touch. I'm not going to lie, it's still hot to touch, but it does insulate it a bit better than obviously touching the bare metal. So I'm holding that now, and I mean, if I was holding that bare metal, that would probably burn me now. That bare metal is hot. So I think the trick to this, guys, is basically the more insulation you put on this, the less you're going to feel the heat. I've put quite a thin layer on this, so I still can feed it slightly through there. What I may do is take all this off and reapply it, but slightly thicker, just to basically help so my fingers don't get burnt. So yeah, hope that helps, guys. Right guys, all I'm going to do now is show you how to use it basically. So get the pack. It's got a nice obviously line that you can cut along so you don't cut into the product. So I'll just go out the outside of that line. Let's get rid of that. So this is what the stuff looks like. Obviously different colours. So basically all you do is you take a piece of it. I tend to work with smaller pieces. It's easy to work with a smaller piece to start with. It does make your hands go a funny colour depending on what one you use. It's like Play-Doh. That's the stuff there. You can squidge it, do what you like with it. So what I'll do first, I mean, because I'm going to apply it to this, I'm going to roll it into like a small sausage shape, just like that, and then basically just push it down. And like I said, it's quite hard to work with it to start with. It's quite hard to work with because it's really soft and it breaks into pieces, but as the air contacts it and it starts to dry, it gets a little bit easier to work with. And I'm just basically keep pushing down on it just to move it round. Check the bottom, needs a little bit more on the bottom, and just keep working it in until you've fully insulated the metal basically, just like that. And then just get some more, add some more, and then you can smooth it with your fingers just to get any sort of horrible bumps and lumps out. Like I said, I didn't really spend a lot of time doing the other ones. I just pretty much slapped it all on just to see what it looked like. So that's basically how you apply it. Just check round, make sure it looks okay. And that's as easy as that, guys. So right guys, that's the finished product. Just finished it off. Obviously I can smooth it out with my fingers a bit more while it's still soft. Basically that's it really. That's what I've got left out of that one, which obviously you can use for something else if you need it, or just leave it, throw it away. Obviously depending on what you use it for, you're going to need either more or less. So yeah, just leave this for 24 hours now, let it cure, let it dry, it should harden, and then ready to go. Right guys, so just a quick recap then. So this is the product, Sugru. Basically it claims it sticks to or bonds to aluminium, steel, ceramics, glass, wood, and some fabrics and plastics. And also it says that it's removable from non-porous surfaces. It cures at room temperature. It takes 24 hours to cure. It's waterproof and dishwashable, and it can withstand -50 centigrade all the way up to 180 degrees centigrade. It's supposed to be UV protective and electrical insulated as well, so use your imagination, do what you like with it. Brilliant product, and that's it really.